everybody, it's Jasmine. So today I wanted to give you guys my review on the Wet n Wild brushes. These ones are their Pro line brushes. Now they do have other brushes in their line that range around $1. I mean, I find my Wet n Wild brushes at the dollar store, so I'm guessing that they do range around the dollar range for their white brushes with the pink brush hairs. Those are actually really good. I really like those, but I was really intrigued on these ones because these are expensive. I need to find the full price online. So this brush set right here, this one retails for $25 for 10 brushes. Okay, for drugstore and for an affordable brand, I think that's kind of pushing it, but you know what? Like I said in my other Wet n Wild reviews, by the way, I bought a lot of things for reviews because I had that 50% off coupon. If you do sign up with their email list, they do give you that 50% off coupon, so I bought this around $12, $12.50 if you want to be exact. And I think for $12.50, I think it's way more affordable and way more worth the price. So I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about each of these brushes individually, and I will show you guys clips of how I achieved this look today with these brushes. Wait, wait, I'm already confused. Okay, so the numbers on the brush don't match up with the numbers that are on the back of the sheet that comes with the brush set. So on the package here, it says C221A is a dome pencil brush, but I'm guessing that's this one, and this is labeled P10. So I think what I'm gonna do to make everything easier is I am going to go in the layout that you are given when gifted the set. So today we are going to start off with the P10, which is their dome pencil eye brush, and I use this one for my lower lash line. This one is a dome pencil brush, but it has a divot on the side, so it really does cradle and hold that lower lash line. I don't see any problem with this. I feel like it's also great for the inner corner if you want to just really get that product right in there. If you want to do that nose highlight, it will hug your nose, and it's a very interesting shape. I do like on Wet n Wild brushes that they do have a little divot here for your finger so that when you are holding it, it's comfortable. And I know it may not seem like a huge difference to some people, but it's a little added touch that I think is very nice. We start getting into some blending brushes. Now this is the P15 and this is the Tapered blending brush. Now this one is very similar to a Sigma E25 if you ever have that. Something that's flat but still also is very blendable, and I like this when I apply my crease shades. I know a lot of people like this for actually applying their transition shade, but I feel like this is so precise that I can easily manipulate this into my crease, and this is an easy way for me to do my smoky eyes or even do my cut creases. This brush is very versatile and I personally really like it. If you have a really petite face, like smaller than my face, you could probably even go in with this one as highlight. I mean, it'll work either way, like inner corner, nose, chin, whatever you want, whatever you like. The next one here is the P50. This is the flat contour brush. Now I actually did not apply my contour with this because I actually hate applying my contour with the brush. I figured that out through my time with cream contours. I just prefer them in a stick so I could just slide it all over my face. So instead I use this to just spread out my concealer, and I was hoping that I could blend it out, but instead it actually just spread the concealer across my face and it didn't really blend into my skin. And I'm not a huge brush blending liquid person, you know. I love blending in my liquids with a sponge. That's just my personal preference. So if you do have the time and you are pretty meticulous with your brushes, and you might like this. It's a very small, dense brush. I'm not sure if I would ever go back to this, honestly. It's just one of those brushes where I've tried so many of this type of shape. I've tried so many other brands and I still don't really like it. It's just not my personal preference, and you know, it's fine. That's just the way things are. That's how things goes. My next brush here is the P55, and this is the Precision Foundation brush. Now this one is very similar to the Bare Minerals brush, the one that has a little divot in the middle, but instead this one actually has a cup, a little cup feel. If you ever use like a Sugar Pill Wet n Wild or Jeffree Star liquid lipstick, it kind of has the liquid lip applicator type of situation, but now in a big brush form. Now I actually just use this for my regular pressed powder. I, again, don't like using brushes when applying my liquid foundations. It's just a personal preference for me, and I'm just very professional today because, you know, I went to work, I got a new job, go me. And so I needed to make sure that my face actually looked good, so I didn't want to do anything out of the ordinary that I wouldn't do. But applying powder with this was actually really nice. I used my Makeup Revolution Bacon Blot powder, and that stuff I mentioned in a previous video that it is a little hard to get the pigment to translate on the brush, and I feel like out of all of my brushes that are in my kit, this was able to grab the most product out of that powder, and in a good way. It was a very nice, even, seamless application. I really appreciate this one, and it's something so unique in general. I have never seen any brushes like Sigma, Morphe, Crown brushes. I've never seen this type of brush done before, so I really like this. I think it's very unique, and if it was sold individually, I think I would buy it. You know, I think it's very innovative and I appreciate this. So kudos to Wet n Wild for this. Now we get into your typical powder brush. This is the P60. It's their large powder brush to be exact. And this one, I actually used it for bronzer. I wanted more of an all over light bronze. I want to say I was in like a meeting setting today, so I didn't want anything like super chiseled. I wanted to look a little sun-kissed, like more sun-kissed than usual, like just lightly pecked on the cheek by the sun. So that's why I went for a more larger brush. They do have other face brushes in here, but I wanted to just make sure that I don't look too crazy today. I mean, I did do more of like an eye focus, but I wanted my face in particular to look really succulent and just really nice. So this one actually picked up my bronzer really well, translated everything really well, did not patch on my skin. Some brushes do that. Like some brushes, they hold the powder in different areas, but this one I felt like the powder was evenly distributed. All the hairs grabbed the product really well. Because these ones feel, I don't want to say like more flimsy, but these ones, they are really tight in this area right here where the, I always forget what this is called, the ferrule, I'm pretty sure, like Will Ferrell. Anyway, work with me here. I just got off work. It's really tight down here. So it has a lot of density down here, but once it comes up, it has just enough flimsiness. And this is a duo fiber brush, so it's able to really pick up that product right on the tip and evenly distribute that product. We are starting to get into the second half of this brush set. This is the P25. This is their Precision Flat Face Brush. I have come across different brushes like this in the past when I did start getting into makeup, and honestly, I thought there was no purpose for it. I said, this is ridiculous. But through my time with experimenting with makeup, I actually like these type of brushes to actually blend out my concealer, especially in my brow area. I feel like that is the perfect brush for it. If you are like me, if you like to do your brows very similarly to me and my routine, you might really like this. If you're just a typical person who's not extra on brushes, maybe this is the one brush in this kit that you're thinking, yeah, I'm gonna give her away. And it's honestly fine. Like I waited this long until I found a purpose for this type of brush, and I've been doing makeup on myself since I was like 12. We have another eye blending brush here. This is the P20. This is their fluffy blending brush, and this is just your typical blending brush. This is actually a little longer in length with the bristles than typical eye brushes in my kit, but I mean, they all work the same. This is very flimsy, and it's very similar to my Furless ME3, the one that I use for a lot of my looks, and it's just nice. It's nice to have Wet n Wild blending brushes for the eyes Again, one of my favorite things on this earth, and they're really affordable. And I think the reason why this collection is so expensive is because of the handle, and I think it's also because you're getting a case. I also think that these dual fiber brushes are just a little bit more luxe. You don't really see these being repeated anywhere else. So I really like this. It's very unique. And so we then get into something a little similar to that blending brush, and this is their P75. This is their tapered highlighting brush, and I used it just for that. I really enjoyed how this one was very similar to the Morphe M501, but also very similar to the Shop Missy highlighting brush that I have been using recently in my recent tutorials. Very easy to pick up powders, and I think that it actually picked up a little bit more highlight than my other highlighting brushes, while still being able to blend it out and make it look so spotlight highlighty. I love this type of highlighted look that I have going on. Again, very sun-kissed, and honestly, it doesn't emphasize my texture either, and I know that's also partly because of the product that I use, but sometimes a brush can make a difference, and sometimes when you are blending something on the skin, sometimes it could blend off the foundation or powder or anything that you have underneath. And this one was just very soft, smooth, and I mean, you can kind of see it on my face after long days of work, maybe over 8 hours. We then are getting into our blush brush, and this is their P70 brush. I actually just used it for blush, and I honestly did not look at the claims of these brushes before I used them. I kind of just went with it and applied my makeup. This was honestly really nice for a blush brush. I don't think it picked up as much product as I would like it to, and I know that's kind of strange because I know a lot of people are like, well, I'd rather build up my blush. I felt like I was just really going in my blushes for it to really get in there and really translate on my skin. But then again, I'm going through a blush phase right now where I love pigmented blushes. I don't know, I'm just being weird right now, but I'm really into it. So I was expecting this to pick up more product than usual, but then again, the normal person would want to build up their blushes, so I'm not that mad at it. So to actually build up my blush, I actually went in with the final brush in this collection. This is their P65. It is their precision setting brush. Now I was going to use this to set my under eyes, but I already used another brush, so I actually used this one to pinpoint my blush on my face. So I went in with this brush more towards the apples of my cheeks and then just dusted the rest all over my face, and I thought that that gave me what I wanted and what I needed at a quicker pace. So with that being said, that was all the brushes. I will show you guys this case. So this case has these little flaps to protect the brushes so that when you do fold it over, they don't touch each other and the powders don't mix in. This also comes up like this, which I think is pretty cool. There's pockets in the back in case you want to hold anything. I'm getting really tired, so I'm gonna wrap up this video. I am so sorry. I am so tired, but I really wanted to show you guys the completed look that I did with these brushes, so that's why I'm here, even though I'm tired. I think that through and through this brush set is very nice. Would I pay $25? No, because it's Wet n Wild. I would pay the $12 for sure, so I definitely would wait for that coupon. I think if there were one brush that I would change out of this collection, it would definitely be this. Just in general, I've tried the one from e.l.f., I've tried the one from Shop Missy, I've tried, I think Sigma has one. I've just tried so many, BH has one. I've just tried so many of these, and I just give them away. I just give them away like candy, like on Halloween, and I give it to the kids. Other than that, this is a pretty solid set, and you know what? It's affordable, it's cheap, it's Wet n Wild, and I'm pretty sure you can actually buy this in stores at Walgreens. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you can buy it in stores. And other than that, I don't really have much to say. If I do have anything else to say, I will list it in the description box. Of course, Wet n Wild is cruelty-free, and this product itself is vegan. So if you are into that, this is definitely for you. Wet n Wild is pretty diligent with putting out vegan products. So if you are looking to transition, I would recommend this brand. They're affordable, they're great, and it's really hard to say that you hate something. I mean, there's just like two things in the whole Wet n Wild line where I'm like, yeah, would not recommend. But all in all, through and through, I think that their team is really innovative and really smart with the products that they do put out. So I hope you guys all enjoy this review, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye! Peace out, Girl Scouts.